Everyone, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Dr. Lori Monaco, coming to you today from a gray but not so cold Southern Connecticut. We are finally going to be a few days without any type of winter precipitation, and the temperatures are going to go up. In fact, by the weekend, Saturday is supposed to be in the mid to high 50s. And of course, I won't be here, but that's okay because I'm going to be in a nicer place. So, good morning. I am your teacher, speaker, coach, your chiropractor, your wellness and weight loss specialist, your published author and blogger, and just downright badass warrior. So, welcome to Viva. Your turn.
You didn't finish. Hola, mi gente. Espérate, I need to get. Espérate. Good morning. Buenos días, namaste. Aquí con la Margarita, que me levanté tarde. Mira que estoy sola. Mira, sola. Zarapastrosa. Well, good morning. It's dreary here today. You see no sun coming in through my window? It's an overcast, rainy, cold day here in Tampa, Florida también. And who am I? I am your sacred healer, your end-of-life doula. I am your spiritual coach. I am your author, artist, creator. I am your magically orgasmic cafe aficionada, CEO of Naturally Orgasmic Cafe Company, and Cricket's founder of Cricket's Whisper. Y mira, estoy aquí with the power of pussy. Y vamos, this happy Tuesday morning, a ver lo que carajo vamos a hablar aquí hoy. Buenos días.
What she said. Yes, and I am drinking Cricket's Whisper, naturally orgasmic coffee. And it is so wonderfully orgasmic as I drink it. And I feel the warmth just come right down and the aroma. I don't have it as good as you. I can't do it as good as you. You're like, all these words come out and just like, duh. I'm the poetry for dummies version. That's me.
Dito. Well, yeah. You know, I always tell people it's hard enough being me, right? This, what am I? Oh, Iris is on. Good morning. Well, Iris should be feeling better. Her and Shania went to the Nicki Jam concert on Saturday. I hope you ladies have fun. Kimberly Sanchez.
She said she can't stay long. We're so happy you're here, though. And she said she can't stay long, but just any little bit is fine with us.
Who said that? I can't even read that. Kimberly. Yes, you came. That's, you know what? When we show up, that's more important.
So just remember to share before you go.
Look at my earth angel.
Share before you go. Remember to like, follow, blah, 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 subscribe, the whole thing. Make sure that people know, get it out there, tell them we're on, because we want to reach the masses with our freaking craziness and fabulousness, because we are a little bit crazy. Like if we were to put a mixture together, we should do that one day. We should take like a mixing cup, like when they make drinks, and then create an ingredients for us, like a quarter cup of whatever, and I would love to see what you have to put into yours. Like what recipe makes Gladiator Guru? What recipe makes Badass Buddha? That would be really interesting. That's actually a good topic for a show. What is your recipe?
What that would be, yeah. Yes, mine would definitely include tequila.
And sauce,
so it's between a Bloody Mary and no gin, but yeah. Chanel said they had a blast. Look at, she's missing Iris's coffee. Oh, Carmen, yeah.
Carmen. Yes, Kathy, thank you. Kathy's always sharing. Thank you so much, Kathy. We really, really appreciate that. We know, beautiful lady. Yes, Carmen is in the house. So good morning. So, let us know what you're drinking this morning. Let us know how your weekend went. We're going to be talking today about what makes you happy. And we want our beautiful tribe members to share because it's so varied. We're going to go on like all types of directions on what makes us happy. And the reason it's good to have shows like this, because we have to be reminded. And sometimes we need to write these things down as well, because it's when we have those really down days, or we're busy, or we're just getting flustered or frustrated, it's really important for us to be reminded of the things that makes us happy, because sometimes when you're in that really crap headspace, you're not thinking clearly. And if somebody say to you, oh, think about a happy, your happy place, you're like, I can't fucking think about my happy place right now. And so you really can't though. You're like, but the moment though, somebody, like if you have a little like cheat sheet note sitting anywhere, like at your work or on your phone, that you could go back to that. And then you close your eyes and you think about, those moments or those things or those situations, then it can actually shift you. So it's really good to have a nice little, like list of them handy in case you forget. So good morning, Jonathan is on, and Jonathan will be on Thursday. It will just be Jonathan and Gladiator Guru, because I will not be on.
Jonathan,
it's a personal day.
Yes.
And
why?
I'm gonna rock it. Huh?
Why won't you be on?
Because I'm going to be flying to Costa Rica. So it's a good excuse.
It's a great excuse.
And Jonathan and Gladiator Guru will be able to totally hold down the fort, because Jonathan is absolutely fabulous. And of course, Gladiator Guru,
What?
of course,
we got this. What? Mm-hmm. Jonathan, prepárate. So yes, so that's gonna be fun. Henny had a question. Henny's my earth angel, because ever since he came into my life, Henny's just been that kind of person. Tiffany doesn't believe me. Of course you wouldn't. So okay.
So he's your earth angel. Is that what you're saying? He's your earth angel?
When I talk about spirituality, I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about spiritual warfare. I'm talking about God. I'm talking about the angels. I'm talking about the orishas. I'm talking about all the spiritual beings that exist, not spirituality in a whole new age kind of thing. So I've experienced angels in my life, but the two prominent ones that have always been for the past over 20, well, yeah, because I met them like maybe 6 months apart from no. Yeah, 6 months apart. Which is Carmen Nieves and Henny. Those have been the ones that, yeah. My earth angels.
I'd have to think who my earth angels are.
Every now and again, and that's what I love about it.
I'd have to think who my earth angels are. I know for sure that my kids are. They are, and it's an easy one to say. Like you sit there and go, oh well, but for me, it is true, and I have to say, especially the youngest one. Not that I want to. God forbid, when you say like one is more than the other, and then how come it wasn't me? My kids. But truth be told, because she came into my life, I didn't think I'd ever have more kids, and I was 43 when I had her, and she's helped me get back to my roots. She's helped me fall back in love with that inner child, remind me what was important to me when I was a kid, because she's so much like me. So she's definitely into that category, but I'd have to really give it a lot of thought. I guess you are Gladiator Guru. You're my earth angel.
Oh my goodness.
You've I get, because what we define earth angel as somebody that takes us to a different level of ourselves, correct? Right? And,
yes.
That's you.
Yeah. For me, my earth angels soften me around the edges. They're the ones that will tell me, no, Margie, I think you're wrong. Or, yeah, that sounds good, but let's look at it from this way. Or, what the hell's wrong with you? Since from at a position in my life where nobody could tell me that. So, but thank you. That makes me feel beautiful.
Okay.
But wait, we're talking about happiness, and I have
Right,
to.
and that makes you happy, right? Earth angels make you happy. So yes, we're going to be talking about happiness. So definitely put in, we're going to get to that in a moment. Put in your coffee, what coffee you drinking this morning. I have got my Viva cup and I have my Crickets Whisper Naturally Orgasmic coffee, as I was saying before. And also let us know how your weekend went. And then we're going to, when we start the conversation, we want you to tell us what makes you happy. You can say anything you want that's comfortable. So it could be dirty, it could be not be dirty, whatever you want to put on there. No judgment here. It's the whole point is a list, you know. It doesn't need to be just one thing. And you know, some days it's more, you could be more happy about that thing than on other days, you know. So like my children make me happy overall. I'm not happy with them every day, but they make me happy overall. So again, you know, we're going to get into that deeper. Carmen is drinking amaretto coffee. Very good. And she says, I have an angel tribe. Yeah, Carmen, definitely.
You should, Miss Angel.
When you, right, when you are an angel, you tend to attract more angels, truly. And you get protected, you know, because there are the devils out there and they will they try to like knock you down, you know, they all do, the haters. But the more grounded you allow yourself to be, the irony of that, angels being in high in heaven or whatever, and heaven on earth, but the more you ground yourself and the more authentic you are and the more loving and compassion and all that, like all that, those pieces, those others do not affect you. So those haters will not affect you. Let's see. We have Ailed Medina. Good morning. Did I say that correctly? I apologize if I didn't say that correctly. But good morning. Welcome to the show. All right. Gladiator Guru, you are busy writing stuff down.
Well, because my coffee. And I just want to make an announcement that Naturally Orgasmic Cafe, I have the new logo. So place your orders for your medium or double espresso dark roast. Place your orders, and just so I can have them there, because I have to roast them fresh, and then we'll go ahead and drink coffee. Because what is coffee? I'm going to say it in Spanish first because that's how I wrote it, and then I'll translate for those in the back. Lori didn't get it.
I got it. I was writing. You're Crickets Whisper, right? Not cricket.
Crickets. On Instagram, it doesn't have the S.
Yeah, because somebody else grabbed it. So that's why I was just asking. I knew that, but I just want to make sure.
Someone else grabbed what? No, I have two.
No, somebody else used the crickets with the S. Somebody else has it because I saw that one day that I noticed that.
Oh. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, Crickets Whisper.
Venmo you, right? They could Venmo you.
Yes, or and Cash App and Zelle. So what is coffee? I'm going to say it in Spanish and then we'll go into the English. It says, el café es mi amor cariñoso. Es el son en mi silencio, mi sombrilla en la lluvia y la tormentosa lluvia en mi sequilla. Café en cada mañana es lo que corre por las venas y me llena de amor. Coffee is.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
My passionate lover. It is the harmony in my silence, my umbrella in the rain. It is the rainstorm of my droughts. Coffee, every a.m., flows through my veins with warmth. Coffee. And stay tuned for Viva Cafe con Leche's tabletop book because I'm almost done with my part. and then she just has to put in her part, and boom, we got this.
Sounds good. Also, stay tuned for, right? We put up a post and we didn't hear shit back from the tribe. Y'all need to look at our page on Facebook and comment, okay? Because, and I think we put it on Instagram too. We are putting together a Viva dance party in June, okay? It is nothing more than to just celebrate our badass and warrior selves.
You posted that? Did you?
I did. And I even said, I gave you all a challenge and I said, start creating the playlist for the DJ. And I put up the playlist. I put up my choices and y'all have to put up your choices.
When did you do this?
This was like, I think a week ago. So just scroll back on the Viva page and add to the comments what songs you want to hear. We want to find a venue. I asked a couple of questions. If you know any venues, we want to have something that's maybe like partially outdoors, that has like maybe under a canopy, so we don't have anybody worrying about anything. We're going to have a DJ, we're going to be dancing, we're going to have food, and it is for the ladies. Jonathan we'll have a couple of guys as special guests, but and we're even considering allowing children to come, because we want to breed these badass gladiator, guru, warrior women, as long as you're okay with them hearing the content of the conversation. We will have a live like coffee talk session where Gladiator Guru and I will be sitting down and we'll be answering everybody's questions. But that's not going to be very long, because our main goal is to party. Like, that is to dance and just have a grand time. So check back and put your information in there, like whatever suggestions you have, suggestions on dates. I'm not available the last weekend of June. That's the only date that I can't do. But we want to do like either a Saturday or Sunday. So yeah. And so I want to just note too that Ila Medina, she said, keep Titi Tony in prayers. Okay. So let's all definitely put that out there. All right. Okay. So
Gwen, look, what the badass?
Thank you. Wonderful. We're glad that you bought the book. We're very happy about that. And we are selling our books. Remember, you can get the books on Amazon, but you can also get them directly from us. We make a little bit more money if you get them directly from us. Amazon doesn't really pay much, but it's just easier sometimes to get it from Amazon. So we get that. No worries. But you won't get it autographed.
Well,
if you get it
from me directly, because you get it autographed and it's just so much more fun.
Yes.
That way. So yeah, so Naturally Orgasmic Coffee is coming soon. Once I get the new logo on the bag, I will have it displayed. And good morning, Desiree. Glad to see you here. Kathy Rue, is Tiffany Bryan?
I didn't see Tiffany on yet. I saw your Tiffany, but I didn't see Tiffany.
My Tiffany's on? Or she didn't say nothing?
Yeah, she said good morning. I'm pretty positive.
Oh, good morning, Emerald. Okay. So what makes us happy? We don't, I don't know. Happiness starts for me before I even get out of bed. I'm never like, oh, I got to get up type of thing. I'm like, oh, I'm tired. But what makes me happy? What? There's not.
I don't know. What are you asking me for? I don't know what makes me.
There's so much that makes me happy,
Okay. You're like making me like answer you.
No, it's just let someone else start, because it's like to pick and choose is not easy, because
then I'll start.
Yeah, go ahead, start, and then someone else follow up, because when I tell you in the shower meditating makes me happy. Doing my yoga as I'm laying in the bed before
you're gonna start.
No, I'm just saying, go ahead. Go ahead, start, girl. Start.
You were going. See, you just needed to get it flowing. The minute you get it flowing, a good cup of coffee in the morning makes you happy, right? Like it's waking up sometimes like really early in the morning for me, and having my quiet time, the house all to myself, and it's dark and I could do my own thing and nobody's awake. That makes me happy. It also makes me happy to sleep in sometimes, It makes me happy to have a beautiful sunny day. It makes me happy to be home and comfortable and warm in my house when it's snowing profusely outside and I could look outside and watch the snow. It makes me happy to be able to be doing what I'm doing. It makes me happy to come and be on the show twice a week with all of you. And thank you, Desiree. So we're all like we're matching there, right? It makes me happy to have Gladiator Guru as my best friend. You know, it's makes me happy to be able to get up every day, to be in good health. It makes me happy to be able to speak my truth. And, you know, so you could go a lot of different directions here, you know, and the goal is to, as if you are sitting still listening to us, take a piece of paper out and start writing down what makes you happy as we go along with this. Because again, if for those days that you really feel in a funk headspace, you want to be able to pull those up. You know, you want to be able to, it makes me happy to be outside. I love being outside. I'm very outdoorsy. It makes me happy to be around animals. Especially like most animals, just the idea of holding them, touching them, that's really, truly actually brings me quite a bit of joy. Go ahead, you jump in because we could just keep going back and forth.
No, I loved it. It was a flow, and that's how explaining what makes you happy should be. Iris is very happy, and I'm happy for Iris, although I don't understand. But Iris is happy because she's drinking decaffeinated coffee with plant-based, never roasted macadamia milk. And I'm really hoping that you're happily enjoying that right there. So monk fruit, I love monk fruit. I have to try the macadamia milk. But you know,
that sounds good though.
You know what makes me happy above everything that makes me happy? That I don't lie to myself, that I love myself enough to not add my kids, my grandkids, or anybody else into my equation when I am seeking my happiness, because that is, for me, the only time that I can then return complete and total joy overflowing into them. It makes me happy to realize that I am enough, that I matter. It takes me over the moon, feel like I'm walking in the clouds with Jesus in his sandals. When I feed my spirit love, kindness, and self-trust, to where I'm nurturing my ego, dissipating all the anxiety and fear, to then in tune love my body exactly where I am today. It makes me happy to know that my mere existence causes that reflection in the mirror that then returns an abundance of joy back into me. Being alive and being kind and being grateful for the badass Buddha, who you guys don't even realize the work that goes behind Viva Cafe con Leche. That's my joy, that it keeps going. And, you know, the joy of saying that I am joyous, that this makes me happy, should be enough for us. Whatever it is that you're taking the time to reflect and then say out loud, so that then it can re-enter your hearing senses, should make you happy in itself. That's my happiness. Okay, what else? What did anybody say?
Oh, we've got a lot of great. I love Kathy's. We got to say it. I enjoy creating things that come to me. Yes. My husband's smile, that is just so beautiful, especially when I see that twinkle in his eyes. Our children, our grandbabies. I love taking photos of nature. So many things make me happy. And you know what? That's actually the last sentence is the key thing. You know, we get into our headspaces, and I know, because I've been there. I very much struggle with this. You know, almost daily, you know, sometimes when you've lived a life of depression for so many years, it's like drinking. You know, you always think, oh, why do people say I'm 5 years sober on this? Because in some elements, you're always an alcoholic. You know, it's like, at what point do you stop saying that? But I used to think that's ridiculous. But when it comes to things that have been so ingrained, You have to check yourself all the time. And when you don't, that's when you tend to, slip. So there are moments where I get into a headspace where I'm like feeling kind of a certain sort of way. And I can't think of anything and that's the ridiculousness of it, is because there's so many things. It could be the smallest little thing. I'm happy when I see my daughter be so joyful with some of the things that she does. So sometimes my happiness is somebody else's happiness.
Absolutely.
Like she'll be looking at something or doing something and she's so excited about it that I love seeing that. And it could be something that I'm not even interested in, but just to see her passion.
Energy, because you
Exactly.
feel her energy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And we have to be reminded of these things, because again, when we get to those days where things aren't going the way we wanted it to, or it's, it's stressful or it's tough, we have to think of those things. And I'm gonna give you an example, Gladiator Guru in the Tribe. So I'm getting ready to go to on this trip to Costa Rica, right? And there's a lot of moving parts. There's like all this stuff you have to do. I have not traveled out of the country in years, in 2 decades, right? So this is still a little foreign to me. I've like forgot how to do it. Plus you have the added COVID piece. And then I'm the, the grown up. So I'm like running the show, and I've got the 2 kids. And even though one of my kids is 18, she's never flown out of the country. So like all these things are going on in my head. Plus I have to work while I'm there. So it's like, I'm constantly checking stuff off, and I feel a little bit of anxiety starting to kick in, a little slow. It's starting to creep in, and I have to keep it in check. I have to keep it in check. So I keep thinking of things that are joyful to me, like things that are making me happy. Part of it is just preparing properly is making me happy. That's easing my anxiety, is to know that I am making the effort and doing things and taking my time and sitting still and thinking it through.
Mm-hmm.
I will listen. I'm going to let you take it. I'm going to let you take it so I could take my kid out to her bus. Okay. I'll be back. So go ahead. You tell everybody what makes you happy, more so.
Well, the thing is with happiness is you can only understand what happiness looks like when you have a bit of happiness. You don't have to be an exuberant person walking around in happiness, because life happens. But I think it's our responsibility to avoid the anxiety in the negative term by seeking things that makes us happy. So it makes me happy to get up every day and continue with my life. Absolutely, Milagro, eso es lo que estoy hablando yo. I cannot find joy in anything or anyone else unless I am joy. So my energy has to be up to a certain place where I can acknowledge someone else's. So that's what we should strive for every day. What it is that makes me happy is me feeling a joy, a flicker of joy. You know what they say, that all you need is faith in the size of a mustard seed. Well, that's how much joy you should make sure you never deplete it and go totally empty on yourself, because life is going to beat you up on its own. Do not engage in that bully behavior. Seek whatever makes you happy. Si es el sonido de los pajaritos cantando por la mañana. If it is, I have a train like 2 blocks behind my house, and at night it comes by at a certain time, and I always sit out there, whether my café con leche or my tea, in my sanctuary, my screened-in porch, and I listen to the train and the way it beeps up, beep, beep, and it keeps going, because that sound, it's like la conga, and it awakens something in me. Guess what? And then I finish, I take a shower, I go to bed, and I'm like, because sound makes me happy, not noise, sound. So you have to identify what is noise to you and what is sound, and follow the sound, and be present with the sound, because the noise you're going to hear all over. The noise, bonchinche, white noise, loud music that has the words in itself put you in a bad mood. So you got to discover it. And why not? It's you. You're amazing. You're that super fucking hero in your life. Why not take the time, ¿verdad, Milagro? Tomar el tiempo para conocerse a uno mismo, para que puedas entender qué es lo que me trae la felicidad, el ruido o los sonidos. And then follow it. Follow it and incorporate it into your life, even if you got to do it bit by bit. But, yes, Kathy, my husband's smile used to make me so happy. I cannot believe that. And a little over a month from today, like a day or two, a month from today, will be 5 years that my husband has passed away. And I don't see how it's already been 5 years. But the smile of someone. And sometimes when I'm in that space, because, we're humans. Y los humanos van a pasar. Subir montaña, bajar, go to the valley, up in the mountains, down in the valley. We're going to go through that because we're energy. And energy will absorb everything around us. So that's why we got to be conscious of where our energy level is going down to empty. And you got to rush out and fill up your gas tank again. Be aware of that. I hate using these words, mindful and stuff, but be mindful of where you are at the moment where you don't feel happy. And then don't go back. Because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have the love. Convert the noise to your own battle song and sound. I wish you can come on live and show us how to do that, Carmen, because absolutely. But you got to be aware. Is it, what are the sounds you enjoy and what's noise? Some noise you just can't escape, but some you can. In your head, pa, 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 pa. La clave. Create that noise. Carmen, I love it. Absolutely. You can take the noise that you cannot escape. What if you're in a meeting or something? The noise is all the BS going around in that room. But in your head, toca la clave, ta, 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 ta. And if you're Latina, your ancestors are gonna be right there with you dancing. There's noise going on, but in your head, you're dancing with that clave. That's right. Make it your own sound, your beat, your song. Add lyrics to it in your head. Write it. My first book was written during meetings. So sometimes those are the great things. But find out what's your happiness. It could be as simple as that first sip of café con leche in the morning, which is mine. One of mine. It could just be knowing that you're gonna gather for Sunday dinner with your family. That sets the precedence for the week. But you must find the joy in your life, and you should do it every day. And if you are doing it, then you know what? Enhorabuena. Because then you are taking control of your life and how to maneuver it from point A to B to C and back to you again. And that's how our day goes. We start with ourselves, then we go out into the world and we're sharing it. And when we're sharing it, we're collecting all types of energy. All types of energy is coming in, right? So when you make the food circle go home and that you're freaking exhausted and don't know why, you got a headache, you have backache, find that joy and that happiness in everything you do when you're out there in the world with all these people, with all these energies, so that when you return back to you, back to that space you started off with in the morning, you can sacuda and say, "Ooh, I'm home." Or dance, put on some beat. Let those ancestors come and chase all that negative energy away. You know what? Say a prayer, whatever works for you. But do it. Come back to your happy space, which is you at the end of your day. Whether you work in your basement or you have your own office, like the badass Buddha and I. Wherever that space is, when you come back to you on it at the end of the day, make sure you come back to your happy space. And everything else it's like a mist. And then you maintain happy. So yeah, you can, I don't read comments when I'm talking.
No, that's okay. That's why we're the team.
But Carmen said this.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Working on my couch makes me happy.
Yeah, that's the one that you clicked off. Convert the noise to your own battle song and sound. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we talked about it. And that is beautiful. You do that.
I like what Chenille wrote because she said working on her couch makes her happy. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Sometimes the simplest things have really caused most of my joy, versus like, I don't need to spend a lot of money. I don't need to be in a fancy place. I don't need to and have anything extravagant. Am I going to say that if somebody gave it to me, or if I was making so much money that I could splurge and go on like one of those really amazing resorts, I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say it's not going to make me happy. It'll make me happy. But I can also be happy being like in a really beautiful area in a tent, for God's sakes, like, because to me it's the experience, it's that moment. I've been in some, and you could probably agree to this, Gladiator Guru. I've been in some really beautiful places where I was miserable. Like, either the company that I was with was miserable, or things were just not going really well, and people around me were being rude. But you could also be like, I remember I did this thing where I volunteered for the Girl Scouts as a CEO. They did this, what's called Camp CEO. And so you, as a female entrepreneur, you applied to it, and then you got to go and stay for the weekend at this sleepaway camp in Connecticut. And they chose like all these women who, and you stay in these tents, and you're paired off with another entrepreneur, right? And it was hot, and we had like this big ass spider, and this girl, I've never met her before till that night. And we had so much fun. We were laughing so hard. Like, we were 12 again, like just like a sleepover. And we had just like an absolutely phenomenal time. And, so who would have guessed, staying at like a sleepaway camp, and we had like, we were in the cafeteria with all the girls, it was fun. And it made me happy, and it made me happy to be a part of that. It made me happy to work with the girls. We did like these team building skills, and we were like competing as each team. And so anything. Oh, my friend Bernie's on. My friend Bernie makes me happy because she makes me laugh all the time. But happiness is, what do they always say? It's like happiness is, you make your own happiness, but happiness is a skill too. You have to practice it. You can't say, oh, well, this is, I choose to be happy. When you're depressed, when you live a depression, it's not easy to choose to be happy. Truly, it really isn't. So it's a skill. It's something that you have to practice and work on, like you're building muscles. That's the best way to put it. And the best way to do that is to surround yourself with things that make you happy, like dancing around.
Don't lie to yourself.
Yes.
People lie to themselves about what they make them happy, or they base their happiness on other people, who's around them, what other people are doing. And it's about spending time with yourself and figuring out who are you and what makes you happy. Now, I'm all for the outside elements adding to my happiness, and if that makes me sound selfish, then so be it. But my first priority, my only job, is to take care of my life and the spirit that was given to me to live this life. So if I'm not happy, I could not impose that my children make me happy, that I'm living because of my children. No, I'm living because I was given this life. My spirit was chosen to be born into this life for a purpose. And then my children were placed in my care to raise and mold into the individuals that they become. And there's an abundance of joy because they are my children.
Yes.
There's an extreme abundance of joy because my children gave me a legacy, which are my grandchildren. And I love them, and any phone call, I'm there in a heartbeat. I will fight for my kids and grandkids. I will kill for my kids and my grandkids. But it's about me. And then everything that comes from me goes to them. So I love what everybody's saying, because everybody's right in their own life.
Yes.
But me being the disruptor, I got to say, I love my kids. I love my grandkids, but I love me more. My kids, my grandkids, my son-in-law, my daughter-in-law, they all make me happy. But I seek my own happiness. And then I can share my happiness and my love all with them. I can be their guru because it was my daughter who named me the guru. And then that's how the circle of life keeps going. If I say I am happy because of Tiffany, Robert, Anaya, little Henny, Azaya, Savannah, guess what? When they're not around, who the hell am I? Am I just a sack of shit sitting there waiting for them to then come back and make me happy? No, that's lying to myself. And that is not valuing or being grateful for the person and spirit that I am. So seek your happiness and then integrate it with all those loved ones that add to your joy and that you fill their cup with their joy. It's an exchange of energy. It's an exchange of love. It's an exchange of happiness and really genuine joy when you're around those people. So when you're happy, when you, Chanel, Bernie, Iritza, Kathy, my daughter Tiffany, I love you.
Lydia's on.
When all of you seek your happiness, then the sun will always shine in your garden.
Yes.
And then you can gather your bounty, your harvest, and share that love and happiness with all of those that are important in your life.
Yeah.
So if you don't water your ass, what's going to happen? So that's what makes me happy, that I've always danced to the beat of my conga. And that, you know what? When I am happy, you are happy. And if you are happy, woo, I am overjoyed.
But you know what? You actually brought up the best point ever, really, because happiness is what we decide it to be and who we decide it to be, and at any given time. So if you rely on other sources to make you happy, see, that's the difference. When we say what makes you happy, it's really what we're saying is what brings you joy, like what brings you happiness. Like, but you, and actually not even, it's, we're saying is that you are happy. You're making a choice that this particular thing makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you happy, right? And it is different for every single person, and it might be different for you day to day, because like I said, my children bring me joy. My children make me happy, especially my youngest one. Does she make me happy every time? No. She could be a pain in the ass. So, but what I mean is that in the end, like overall, she brings me happiness, but I'm not seeking the happiness. Like if I'm having a lousy day, the expectation to say that this source is going to bring me happiness, this thing is going to bring me happiness.
Absolutely. No, I wasn't correcting nobody. I was not correcting anybody. No,
I'm agreeing with you. No, I'm agreeing with you. You're right.
But you know what? Yeah, my daughter, look at moral of the story, people, make sure to water your ass all day. My daughter Tiffany, right here. The reason I can say that the happiness has to start within me, because this little girl, she is the reason that, I am who I am today. I was a teenage mom with her, had her when I was 17, married at 16, had her a year and 3 months after I was married. So I didn't get married because I was pregnant, although it didn't really matter, right? Had her at 17, was a single mom at 18. This little girl went through it all with me. This little girl lived in a car in the December when we were homeless for 2 weeks. This little girl was just with me through the darkest times of my life. So yeah, my daughter is, and when you speak about Charlotte, that's how I know, because Tiffany is like that. She's the staple. All these years later, right, Tiffany? We're not going to say how old you are, because then that's going to make me feel old. So what I'm saying is, yeah, our kids, they are the sazon, to our chuletas. Without them, our beans would not taste right. Our chuletas won't be that crispiness to it. So, yeah, but, then they grow up and they have their own lives. And so I agree with you, Badass. Our children do add that spice. My son is just the most tender teddy bear. So I love them the same. I dislike them the same, but they are different. And I love them in their difference. But at the end of the day, I am my one true love. And then I love, and then there's room for them. So yeah, I wasn't saying that. I just wanted to put it out there because I know Gladiator Guru wasn't saying that because look at Gladiator. I'm reading my cup. I know that the badass Buddha wasn't saying that, but I just wanted to remind people because a lot of people are not at the place where they can say it's me, it's God, me, and then my kids. It's you, and then your kids. It's you on that airplane that got to put the mask on you first, even though you want to put it on them. It is you. Amate, quiérete, agradecete. Then when you like yourself, when you love yourself, when you appreciate and are full with gratitude for yourself, and then that just flows on. It's like that. It's like you ever go to the Spencer store and they have that thing when you put the hand, all the different color electricity goes to your hand and you move your hand and it goes with it. That's a mother's love. When she's truly in love with herself, that's her love, her like electrical things that just pours out into her children without even saying anything. It just happens. It's like the roots of a tree, right? It's the branches of a tree. It is. Okay, I'm done. I am Margarita and I'm done speaking right now.
But the thing is, like, I think back to years ago when I was in my 20s and really throughout probably my adult life until I hit that rock bottom place that I did when I was 45. I was always seeking happiness from other people. And I could even tell you that I would say that I didn't, but in the end, I never felt complete. I never felt fulfilled because I was always trying to fill it somewhere else, And so I remember, and this is advice that I should have heeded years, like at that moment when I was dating my first husband. He was just such a narcissistic prick that he would so manipulative, but at the same time he would like want me and then he wouldn't want me and then he'd want me and then he wouldn't want me. And he got me so like tore up, like my head was so all over the place. I remember this one conversation though. I must have been about 23, and we were arguing because we were supposed to go hiking or something like that, and he decided not to for whatever reason, and I was questioning like, well, what am I supposed to do? And he said, it's not my job to make you happy. That's what he said. It's not my job to make you happy. And I was so torn up by this statement because I was just like, oh my God, he doesn't love me. He doesn't want me, blah, blah, blah. And I should have listened to that and said, no light bulb moment, unfortunately, but I should have listened and said, oh my God, you are right. Bye-bye. I don't need you. Because the irony is that once we fully realize that we are in charge of our happiness, like we can decide what makes us happy, we can decide what we want to be a part of, what we want in our life, then we don't technically need anybody else. That's the interesting thing. The only person we need is ourselves. But they just add to it. Like when Kathy wrote that she loves that sparkle in her husband's eye and his smile, he adds to her joy. It's an addition. You know what I mean? And so when these other people are in our lives that bring us joy, it's beautiful. If they were no longer there anymore, yes, we could be sad and we could feel the loss, but at the same time, we have the memory of them, and the memory brings us happiness. Like I think about my grandparents, my mother's parents, especially my grandmother, and we had such fun times when we were at, like, every other weekend we were at our grandmother's house, and she's been gone since I was 14 years old. But I think back and some of the fondest memories, and they make me so happy. So I don't get sad that she's not here anymore. I just think about like the stuff that brought me joy. So it's all within you. You have to create the happiness within yourself. You come first. And then just think, when you're whole like that, just think of what joy you could exude that energy to other people. And yes, they could get joy off of you, but it's still up to them to decide how happy they want to be.
That's it.
Right?
Because nobody really, you love. Like I said, I would do anything for my kids. I love them. They know they're loved. You know, I could tell you that I speak to my grown kids with kids every day. I have my own relationship with my grandkids. But why? Because they honor the fact that I am who I am, that I will be in Spain or California, or where was the last time I was at? Texas, on their birthdays, and they know that when I call them and say, oh, and I sing happy birthday in my tone deaf voice, I can be anywhere in the world and they don't feel like I'm not showing up for them.
Yes.
I show up. And why? Because I have taught them to be true to themselves, because I'm always going to be true to myself. And I'm like, see ya. Oh, your birthday's coming up. Oh, I'll call you. So my presence is always with them, but my essence is always with me. And that's how you love yourself. You love yourself by choosing you first. God, me, then everybody else. And because I was doing Mary Kay in 1991 with that mantra, with that message, my kids have heard it. They know it. They feel it. It's sewn into the tapestry of their soul that their mom is crazy, likes to just be everywhere at the drop of a hat, mind you. Today's Monday. We're like, Friday, I want to go here, and I'm out. So you know what? Why? Because I trust myself to know that I'm going to go. And I'm not going to say, well, I can't go because this, because guess what? When you do that, your checklist becomes like this when it's really like this. So, and yeah, Chanel, yep. I love that you have that relationship. I'm very happy. I built that relationship with my children. I cultivated it because I did not have that with my mom. So, yes. Oh my God, this is fantastic. The Badass Buddha, the Badass Buddha brought something up that was very important. And it's when you reminisce, when memories are triggered, and people like confrontation, trigger is always looked on the negative side. Whenever that word is mentioned, they think whatever's going to follow. Well, no, the smell of coffee triggers my happy childhood memory with my abuelita. And that's why the whole mantra for my coffee company is invoking happy childhood memories one sip at a time, because my happiest childhood memories was when my grandmother was raising me. So she said that, and it just made me all warm and fuzzy, because those are things when we're lost in our, or we have those moments where there's no clarity, or who am I? Because you know what, you can be the most richest, important to society person in the world, and you're gonna have those moments like, who am I? And what am I contributing to humanity? What am I being good enough to X amount of people? It is in those moments that you want those memories triggered, that you want to go back from when you were 3 and you wake up from a nightmare and abuelita says, oh, it's okay, come on. And we're sitting at the kitchen table at 3 o'clock in the morning at 3 years old, drinking café con leche. So, so those are the memories that when we get triggers, it's up to you to decide, are you going to entertain it? Are you going to dance with it? Or are you going to say, oh, thank you, aloha, kamsamida, arrivederci, I got to go now. So you got to say which one, because you can say welcome and you can say bye-bye with the same tone, the same smile, because you own it. Nobody can take anything away unless you allow it. So you can say it with the smile, like today's not the day and you don't really want to see me like that. So bye-bye. And then you're not hindering yourself. So find the happiness, find the joy in the things that you do, because we all do things differently. Like the Badass Buddha likes to clean garages and shovel snow, and that like makes her feel good. And I'm like, I'm not doing that shit.
'Tis true. You know what makes me happy? I'm loving your pearls and your outfit today. Like, that's making me happy. You know what makes me happy is the fact that I'm friends with you and I get to see like what you wear and what you say. I love listening to when you just ramble and you start speaking like that poetic, like, obviously I'm not a poet because I can't think of the words. When you
Poetic flow, the flow.
yeah, when you just do that, I love it. Like, it just flows so out of you so natural, and I love it. It makes me happy because it makes me feel like I understand. Like, poetry's never. I'm one of those people that there's some poetry that I get. I'm more Dr. Seuss. Like, that's my so but there's other poetry out there that I'll read it and I'm like, yeah, I'm lost, you know. But then hearing you say some of the stuff, it just makes me feel like I get it, and it brings me joy. So I want to share that with you. Like, I really am. I'm very happy that you and I are friends.
Oh, thank you. Tiffany does too. Look. My daughter's on it today. Ooh, love my baby girl. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not happy with my dogs right now.
I'm a wordsmith, and it took me a lot of years to acknowledge that out loud. And now I'm just like, you know what? I've accepted all parts of me, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, you know, the flow of the ole, you know, and I am who I am. And that's why I say everywhere I go, I bring me with me.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm gonna find people who don't like the way I speak, don't like the way I look, and I'm okay with that because you know what? Not everybody has good taste, and I'm gonna meet people that we are going to connect, and we're going to be a part of each other's lives forever. And those are the divine purposes in our lives, is to connect with our people, with our tribe, and although our villages might be miles and continents apart, it's still a village, and we can always build. And if we build one another up, then where we are, we share that building technique, and then life just gets better. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you know, it doesn't matter. What matters is that your existence is verified by you. Hello, I'm here. This is what I bring to the table. Oh, you don't have anything? That's okay. I have enough to share for both of us. And that's how we start building. So thank you. That warmed my heart.
Margarita del Flow.
Jonathan. It's going to be me and you, kid, on Thursday.
That's right. So speaking of that, we're at the end of the show. I do want to also let you know that so I won't see any of you all till Tuesday, but I'll be broadcasting from somewhere beautiful, so that'll be cool. And I do want to tell you too, though, that Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm doing a workshop on Are You Living with a Narcissist? And so if you could go on Eventbrite and register for it, or if you could go onto the Viva page too, there's the link to register for it. It's going to be a really good conversation. And for those of you that do Clubhouse, tomorrow, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I will be in Hustle House. That's the room that the club I'll be in. But it's narcissistic abuse syndrome. So I'm going to be talking about narcissistic abuse syndrome. And what makes me happy is speaking, because I love to speak. So definitely share that information with anybody that might be going through that. So I wanted to put that out there
that's
too.
A great club in the Hustle
House.
Hustle House. It is awesome. The ladies there, they're smart and they're intuitive and they love to share, and it is a great clubhouse to be a part of. So make sure you're gonna post it, right? Make sure you join in tomorrow. Even if you're just listening, it's good, the different information that they share, and just the way they speak. I love how they all add something to whatever's going on.
Chanel said she has to go listen to a media that will not make her happy. So, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And when you have to do things that don't make you happy, that's why you need to go in your head with the things that do make you happy, because you can drift off every so often, or you can doodle, or anything that can distract you to get away from that, or you could just make the best of it and say, this is making me happy because it's the next step to whatever.
Yeah, just participate. Because even in the moments that don't make you happy, you're learning about who you are, what you tolerate and what you won't.
Yes.
So it's always a plus.
Thank you, Kathy. We
It's
really
always a
appreciate
plus.
it.
Yes. So, and tonight at 7 p.m., Moments con Margarita, live. I'm Margarita de Margarita, but I guess it goes to my main Facebook. And what's the conversation tonight? It's just conversations.
It doesn't go to your main Facebook. It goes to
Margarita de Margarita.
If you're doing StreamYard, if you did your StreamYard, no. Yeah. So
just be aware. Come on, ask your questions, and we will just be flowing tonight. And let's just make it happen.
Yes. All right.
So Margarita, you can have some more of me tonight.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So everybody will see you. We'll see you on Thursday. I will tune in. I'll have to I'll try to, if I'm on the plane, I can't tune in, but I'll tune in afterwards. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on today. Have an absolutely fabulous day. Make that list. What makes you happy? Create it. Keep adding to it. Add, because this is what your go-to list is going to be when you're feeling kind of lousy. So thanks so much for staying on. And again, we went over just about a minute, but thank you so much. Glad you grew anything last minute before we hang up.
Love yourself. Amate.
All right. Okay. So thank you from the Badass Buddha. Remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, I had to look at my name. Remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.